Hey everyone, welcome to another video on Cool Random Builds. My name is Ian and today I'm going to be showing you how you can make this. It is the Power Stone Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy, and it actually opens up and it lights up. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I started off by getting this Christmas ornament that is hollow on the inside, and it can be opened in half, which I think would have been really useful for this because I wanted it to open. And also, so we're going to start off by removing these top little tab things because those are going to get in the way. So to cut those out, I just use my X-Acto knife to kind of like grind up the edges, and then I just use some scissors to cut it off. Just be really careful with it because you could crack the ornament, the object or whatever, so yeah, just do this step really carefully. And they should look something like this. Yeah. Once you do that, you're going to want to go spray paint these black, because that's what's going to give it like the main look of the power orb. I did 2 layers of black spray paint just because with 1 layer I was still able to see some light coming from the inside. So yeah, now just test to see if they can still fit on each other. If they don't fit because of the paint, just scratch some of the paint off. But mine fit pretty well. So yeah, if that works, then yeah. So the orb has like a weird rough design on it. So what I'm doing here is just getting some hot glue, and then just like on the first half of it, half of the top part of it, I'm just putting like random patterns of glue on there because that's what's going to give it like the rough look of it. Quick thing I'd recommend doing, I'd recommend gluing and working on one side of this first, then doing the other side, because then you're going to have to wait for one of the sides to dry. And also right here, as you can see, this is where the 2 pieces connect. You're going to want to use an X-Acto knife to cut through in between right there, just so these don't glue shut. So I'm going to add a little bit more to this. I'm going to wait for that to dry, then I'm going to work on the back side of it. So I'm going to finish that. Alright, so once it's done, once you're done gluing all that on all over it, it's still drying on this top part for me a little bit. You're gonna want to use an X-Acto knife, if that is that you went on the glue through that line right there, so now I can't really open it. It's gonna have a hard time opening. You're now gonna want to use an X-Acto knife to just cut through the glue right there so you can still be able to open this. And then, we'll see what to do after that. So yeah, I did that mistake. I put glue over the where the lines connect. So what I'm doing there is just cutting off the glue so I can still be able to open it because right now the orb is kind of glued shut, so I can't really open it. But yeah, it should be fixed now because I just had to cut through that glue. So this next step is actually kind of optional, because as you can see there, the glue already kind of looks like grayish. But what I'm doing here is every little line. So this kind of takes patience. Just every little line, use a silver Sharpie, and then just like color over it so like the lines show a little bit more because some hot glue is clear. Mine is sort of clear, so I wanted to make it look more grayish. So yeah, I'm just coloring over with a silver Sharpie all over those lines. And this is what it should be looking like. So as you can see that now, like the lines really show up there. It really does look like a new texture on there. So yeah, I would recommend the same thing for the that I did for the glue. Work on the top side first, then on the bottom side, because sometimes the ink from the marker isn't dry and it gets stuck to your hands. And yeah, it can still open. Alright, just quick thing, there is no template for this because, just because these pieces are really simple to cut out, and they're not, like, super hard to cut out, so, now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna make the inside of this, and then get, another LED light, finger light, that lights up like this, and then you can put this in there, and you can have a, Power Stone in here. So let's do that. Alright, so for this next step, oh yeah, my camera falls like 2 times here. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use one of the sides of the, one of the halves of the orb. And then I'm basically just going to press down on the foam, on the, oh yeah, I'm using EVA foam here. And on that line that shows up right there, I'm going to cut on the inside of it because we still have to make sure that it's going to fit inside the orb without being jammed or anything. So yeah, cut on the inside of the line so it's a little bit smaller than the actual like outline of the orb. And now basically I'm just gonna look for any object that is a little bit smaller than that circle so I can be able to make a hole on the inside of it. Alright, so there really is no specific size that you need for this, but what I'm using here is, I'm using the lid of the light that I used in my Tesseract video, which I put, I had to use one of those like lights to make the Tesseract glow a lot. And since the bottom of it was magnetic, I took the lid off. So but like right here, I'm using that just to make a smaller circle on the inside. So now I have like a ring, and then now I just gotta cut that shape out twice so it can fit on the other half of the orb. Alright, you're then gonna want to cut out this piece. So yeah, like how I said, it's not on the template, but make sure it's a little bit shorter than the half of the sphere. Yeah. And then I made 7 of those, and then I have 1 ring. And this is all for one side of it, so you're gonna have to cut out all of these, again. So yeah. Now once I got all those pieces cut out, it didn't take too long, by the way, it just requires patience. But now I'm spray painting them with a gold spray paint because well, that's what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, just spray painting that gold now. Right, so now basically what you're gonna do is, once you got all those pieces cut out, you're gonna want to glue them inside of the of one of the and this is for both of the both sides of the orb. Sorry I stutter so much, but you just gotta put all those in there. Make sure all 7 are able to fit in there, and then once you have all 7 of those, just put the circle on top of it. And it should look something like this now. Right, so once you got those 2 pieces once you got all those pieces glued in, it should be able to oh, also I don't think I mentioned this, but make sure that there is space here for the pieces to still be able to connect, or else you're gonna have to redo the whole process of making those pieces again. So it should fit nice and snug like this, so I think it looks pretty cool like this. Now we just gotta add the stone in. So yeah, the reason why I didn't include a template is because these pieces are just really simple to make. It really isn't that hard. You guys you guys should just free draw it. But yeah, that's what the inside of them should look like. Now we just gotta start working on the stone. So for the stone, I'm gonna use the same strategy I did for the Eye of Agamotto for the time stone, except this is the Power Stone this time. So using the top of a glue stick, I just I just drew out a circle and then put glue in the circles. Cause like that's what's gonna be the stone. That's what's gonna give it its shape. So so yeah, and then just put a finger light in there, and then make sure that it's well glued on there. Alright, so once you get those cut out, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Eye of Agamotto, except I'm going to add another one of these onto here. And make sure, so this is the paper side, like, kind of like scratch it off, like with an X-Acto knife, like scratch it off a little bit, but like not the whole thing. So like when you turn it on, it kind of looks like a solid object a little bit. So when you put this on, it'll do the same thing. So, we're gonna have to glue this part onto here, and then so it'll look something like this when you glue it on, and then we're gonna color it purple. Alright, so now it should look something like this. I put some paper, a little bit more paper around it, and colored it purple with a purple marker. That's all I used. And now when you turn it on, sorry, that's my dog. When you turn it on, it should look something like this. So now I'm gonna find a way to get this in here. Now for this one, I'm not gonna make it that you take the stone out. I'm just gonna make it so like if you open it, there's an infinity stone in here. So I'm gonna figure that part out right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it so I'm gonna get a piece of foam, then I'm gonna wrap it around the bottom, add maybe a little bit of it right here, so it's also raised up a little bit and it'll stick out a little bit more. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And with some normal black duct tape, I'm gonna block off this light right here. Make sure that when you're gluing, do not glue this the switch right there, because then that's gonna prevent it from turning off or turning on. So yeah, just wanted to point that out really quick. All right, so now it should look something like this. So yeah, I put some tape on there to block off most of the light, although there is still going to be a little bit of light, but most of it is blocked off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue this onto here. And there really is no specific way to glue it. Just make sure it's like sticking up like that a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to glue that on with hot glue. So yeah, there really is no specific way on gluing it. I just put a bunch of glue on like the bottom of it and like made sure that it was able to stick on there. And yeah, make sure that like the stone is a little bit raised up, but not too much, because then you won't be able to close the orb. But other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. And yeah, you can still turn it on from without having to take it out of the orb. And yeah, that's basically it. I think this thing looks really cool, especially when you open it. Like it really does look like there's a stone in there. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's how you can make the Power Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy and all the movies it's in. And with the Power Stone inside of it, I think it looks pretty cool. It's definitely the most like sturdiest out of all the Infinity Stones that I've made, because I've made several already. Because like, yeah, you can take this off and it lights up pretty well. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would recommend you guys check out my previous Infinity Stones videos, because I've already made a few other Infinity Stones, which I think you guys are definitely going to enjoy if you enjoyed this video. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check out my main channel. All this in the description below. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.